It's time for another new segment. This is the pitch. What's up, universe, and welcome back to the web's first must-see comic and nerd culture show. Welcome to Comic Universe, guys. I'm your host, as always, C-Dubbs. And guys, as you can see, still riding solo on this video. And guys, today I'm starting a new segment. It's a segment I wanted to start it back when Predator came out. But I was getting ready for travels with my wife and things like that. And again, like I always say, life finds a way to get in the way. And guys, so this is the pitch. This is where me and the guys, and eventually, hopefully, you guys will be able to join us, okay, in basically giving our pitches to ideas, thoughts, movies, books, comics, stories, video games, whatever the case may be. Pitching an idea as if you were essentially in front of the person who can make it happen, if you will. Just kind of letting your creative juices and creative mind flowing. And this is a thought I always had on how the Predator franchise should have always gone, to be honest with you. Ever since I saw the sequel back when I was a kid. Even though I like the sequel, don't get me wrong, and there are things about Predators I like, for the most part, other than the fact that it is aliens and predators in the same movie, I don't like the Alien vs. Predator series very much. I do like that they're in the same movie. That's about it, like I said. And I have yet to see this particular Predator that just came out, but according to DPZ, it's a definite pass. But I will eventually, as a fan of the actual character / creature, if you will, alien, I definitely will check it out at some point here in the near future. But this is my pitch on how I envision a sequel, a direct sequel to The Predator. Now, with, for instance, Halloween, how the new Halloween that's coming out is kind of just snipping the history of Michael Myers, if you will. Everything from the first one on and the remakes don't exist, for better or for worse. Even though I think they should be doing the first two films and then snipping, because the sequel is a direct sequel, like it happens all in the same relatively, like, 48 hours of each other, so I don't understand why they would cut out the second one, Halloween 2, but it is what it is. We'll see how this goes. I have not seen it. What I've heard about it so far sounds pretty good, and I fingers crossed that it is good. But we'll see how the franchise moves on from there, because it sounds like this may be a one-and-done type of deal, and, you know, I doubt Michael Myers will stay dead forever, so... at least in our world, you know. So anyway, just in the same vein of how Michael Myers is getting, chopping up the history, I kind of would like to do the same thing. Just kind of go right in there, snip, and eliminate from 2 on. You know, they exist. You enjoy them as they are. That's great. But they won't affect anything from the first movie. So with Dutch being such an iconic character, Arnold Schwarzenegger's portrayal of him, such an iconic character in on itself, from memes to the handshake of doom, if you will. It has been nothing, that movie has affected pop culture in a very positive light. The creature, everything about the first movie is just fantastic, and it's so very hard to capture the elements of a first movie again, because it was the first time. It was survival, it was horror, it was also like a military-esque movie, if you will. So there was so much going on that I think that you just no way that you're ever going to recapture that. No matter where you bring it to urban society, you bring it to another planet with multiple, nothing has ever lived up to the first one, if you will. Unlike Aliens. Aliens, there's hits and misses throughout the series, if you will. But for some reason, Predator hasn't been able to recapture that. So my idea is essentially kind of maybe flip it on its head, if you will. As we all know, the races of predators, before this previous movie, they just basically hunted for sport. They hunted the best and most creative killers, and anyone they deemed worthy, they would hunt, essentially, to prove that they are the greatest predator out there, essentially. So, and, there's your skull and spine was basically their trophy prior to this past film. And... I always thought with what happened with Dutch, in real life, probably regardless of anything he said, with all of his men dying and just the big explosion, shit going to hell, if you will, he probably wouldn't have made it out of the military unscathed. He probably would have been, court-martialed or something, he would have been in trouble for the actions of which that had happened to some degree. Somehow, some way, they would have, found him guilty of it all. Essentially, probably, in the way I envision it, ruining his life, if you will. And he had a son, which we never knew of, is the way I would portray it. So, in my idea, I would probably, if I were to make this movie here today, it would be probably Chris Hemsworth would be my first choice. Of course, he would have to hold, people would have to come in and act out for me and my team, if you will, to see who would get the role. But in my ideal choice would probably be someone along the lines of Chris Hemsworth. From his history as Thor and his recognition from that would obviously help this film. He's an attractive man, so you're going to have that female demographic that won't have any real beef probably coming to see this film, because it's going to be a heavily high action, high science fiction-esque movie, which appeals, again, I don't want to be stereotypical, there are plenty of female fans of those genres out there. But generally, they tend to appeal to guys more, okay? And, with having an attractive male lead role, women may be a little more open to go see it. So you're still going to have that as a financial. And again, when I'm presenting this pitch, it's just, I'm looking at it as a whole, from finances, just how to make the most money and how to tell the best story and stay true to the source material and art as possible. So I'm just kind of trying to cover all my bases here. So please don't take no offense to anything when I'm saying, we need to get the female demographic. It's strictly business, if you will, as the saying goes. So Chris Hemsworth in the role, playing Dutch's son, essentially. Him believing everything his dad had ever said, and even his mom didn't believe him, if you will. So he had made it his life goal, his life mission, to essentially hunt down a predator, okay, one of the actual aliens, if you will, to prove his father's innocence, whether his father is still being alive and or not. In my case, I probably would still have him maybe in jail, but alive. And him doing this to try to prove that their existence is out there. Okay, that these predators do exist, and that, he's going to essentially capture one and prove his father's innocence. And again, we could take it to the forest or something, or to another jungle where he himself has found clues of a predator hunting in those areas, and he would go in there, okay, and essentially do what his dad did, and booby trap everything, set it all up to where he is the actual predator. But of course, the predator being the ultimate predator, it wouldn't be so easy. There would be a clash. But by the end of it, the predator's seeing exactly what it's like to be hunted. This would make a whole new experience, I think, and would be a bit of originality to a franchise already that's already, set in culture, in pop culture, if you will. And I think, in today's world, we kind of move away from creativity so much that we just stick to, if it was a success once, it'll be a success again, or, if it's a franchise, sure, we'll make a sequel. We'll make 9,000 sequels if we have to, and then reboot it 9,000 times over, just because it's a proven commodity, opposed to the chances are, more likely to happen. So this is a way within a franchise to still kind of be creative and tell a story that we really have never gotten, where how you go in thinking one thing, okay, the predator is the predator, but now he's kind of like, I gotta get out of here, this dude is serious, okay, like this guy came prepared for me, I'm being hunted, and then of course the predator being, ultimate predator himself, he's, I'm gonna show him he can't hunt me, and just a conflict between the two I think would be really awesome. Again, there's all kinds of details, and in between there, over the 20 plus years I've been thinking of this idea, and obviously Chris Hemsworth wasn't in my idea 20 years ago, but just thinking about it, rethinking about it today, how I would actually set this film up. I just think it's a very unique way to tell the story. I think it would be a twist that not a lot of people would see coming, and and again, sometimes trailers can ruin movies, and I could see you could tell this story where everyone goes into it thinking that Predator is hunting his genealogy because, Dutch was such a worthy competitor, so they assume his son's going to be, and then when everyone gets into the movie theater and realizes that's not what they came to see a reverse tale and flip everybody on their wig. I think it would be a really good experience for the audience. So that's basically my small pitch. I don't want to go too much, almost 10 minutes in this video already, guys. So guys, let us know, what did you guys think of my pitch? Do you like the idea? If you don't, I'm totally open to criticism. Let me know in the bottom, as long as it's constructive. We're all being polite and respectful to each other. How would you actually do a Predator film? Would you continue off of 1 or 2 or Predators, or what would you like to see? Or even if, how would you actually merge the Predator and Alien universe in a cohesive story, if you will? Let us know in the comments below, guys. Also, let us know if you like this idea, if you want us to do more of these pitch ideas. And guys, I'm trying to think of a way to where I can get you guys and your pitches, here on the channel as well. Maybe if you guys, I'm gonna maybe get an email here soon, big enough to where you guys might be able to send us videos, and we'll get them posted. That's stuff that's in the works. So guys, if you like that idea and you guys want to be a part of the team to, just to get your creativity out there, nobody around here is making any money yet, so please don't think about it in terms of that. We're just all here to nerd out and geek out together, guys. So let us know in the comments below, guys, if you like this idea. I'm gonna try to make this happen for us. There's not a time frame on it, but again, let us know, guys. Thank you again for the love and support, and my name is C-Dubbs, and I'll see you guys in the universe.